Hi, everybody.
Hello, I am Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Today we're going to be talking about Cthulhu, the Great Old One.
Ooh.
But before we do, we're going to get into our Pounds and Inches segment, and I'm so excited about it. As some of you...
You're always so excited. It could be anything.
I like progress.
And that's why I love you.
Yeah, you should always be excited about progress, whether it's this big or this big. You should be excited. So one of my goals for October is... Side note, just in case you don't know, I like to make monthly goals for myself. But my goal for October was to be able to do a plank for 60 seconds. And while I'm not there yet, when I started October, I was only able to plank for about 20 seconds. And the other day, I was working out with my sister, and I'm holding a plank, and normally she does 8 beats. And then I realized that, a lot of 8 beats have happened, and it was still going, and she was testing me. But we found out I was able to hold it for 42 seconds. I'm so close, guys. Yay.
All right, so let's talk about Cthulhu, the Great Old One. This is a kind of a set collection drafting game set in the Lovecraft mythos universe. Yeah.
Let's just have Ryan show you what it looks like.
Okay, in Cthulhu, the Great Old One, what you are trying to do is you are trying to get pairs of cards. Either they can be these kind of matched pairs like this, where they are identical in every way, or a linked pair, where the top text and the secondary text match up in that way. So the matched pairs are going to be worth 2 points at the end of the game. The linked pairs are going to be worth 1 point at the end of the game. The game ends once one person has 7 pairs in front of them, and then at that point you can count up all your points. You also get points for playing these horror cards, which kind of mess with the rules a little bit, allow some shenanigans and some switching around of stuff. There's also Elder Sign cards, which kind of take away those effects of those horror cards. And then, also, there's the Cultist and the Great Old One. There's only one of each of these in this large deck. Basically, what happens is, if you play the Cultist, at the end of the game, it's worth -1 points. However... if you happen to have the Great Old One card in your hand, and you also have the Cultist down on the table, you win the game automatically. However, if you have the Cthulhu, the Great Old One card, and you don't have a Cultist out there, you automatically lose the game, even if you have the most amount of points. So what you're doing is, you're basically going around the table, and you're asking someone, hey, do you have Yog Sothoth? And someone will say, nope, I don't have that. So then you get to draw randomly from their hand. And then you get to have a chance to kind of swap out some cards from this little tableau here as well. So what you're doing is you're looking for more of those linked pairs. As soon as you get a pair, you play it out in front of you. So again, the game ends once one player has 7 pairs or more in front of them. At that time, everyone counts up their points. Whoever has the most points wins. And again, with the exception, unless someone also has the Cultist out in front of them and the Great Old One card in their hand, then they automatically win.
This game was really fun at 6 players. It gets very interactive when you hear people talk and asking for a certain card that you have and they didn't ask you, so then you can ask them. And then when you play the horror cards, they're a lot more interactive when there's 6 players, and there's just a lot of things that happen, and it was like a goofy, fun time.
All right, so if my explanation and what Bethany was just talking about sounds familiar, this game does share a lot of similarities with Go Fish, that classic card game. However, it takes it to a whole new level. It has all these extra little intricacies and complexities, as well as a really great theme behind it, too.
So Ryan and I are not that familiar with the Lovecraftian universe, but we are playing...
passing, we know a little bit.
We know it exists.
I read some book.
Ryan read a story.
A book.
So anyway, as I was saying, we played with people who were actually very familiar with this universe, and they enjoyed it a lot when they were playing. When we were playing with the cards, and they saw the pictures and the names, and they saw how it all connected, and they really liked that, especially the matched pair with the linked pair, and they understood how that worked, and it was enjoyable for them.
I really like how there's that element of the one Cultist and the one Cthulhu card buried in the deck, and is it going to come out? Is this going to be the game where it happens? And in one of our games, it actually did happen. It was just really exciting. It added this extra element of suspense, and it was just really good and fit with the theme perfectly. I will say that in 2-player games and 3-player games, it doesn't quite get to that suspense level as much. You don't see as many of the cards. Those horror cards don't quite interact the same way. So it does work just fine with 2 and 3 players. It's just we found for our plays that the 4, 5, and 6 player counts really shine. It's a lot of fun there.
We did have an issue with the graphics, though. They were really fun, and the artwork was really good. It detracted from the text, and so it was hard for us, probably just me, to find the linked pairs because of the artwork popping out so much. I was just having trouble reading it. That was just could be just a me thing. But I really think that if you have anybody who likes lighter games and really loves Lovecraft, I think they would love this game.
Yes, that is Cthulhu, the Great Old One. I really enjoyed this one a lot. All right, so don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that way you don't miss out on any of our reviews as they come out. And we've got more spooky reviews coming out all October long. We also have our Facebook page, Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. We are on Twitter, at Ryan and Bethany 1. We are on Instagram, at Ryan and Bethany. And we also have our blog on BoardGameGeek.com. It's called Pounds and Inches, where we talk a little bit more about our health journey.
All right, well, this is Ryan, and I'm Bethany, encouraging you to play games, live healthy, and create moments. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.